Hello and welcome to another Econelastic video. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Joe.
And in our last video, if you remember, we covered the branch of economics known as macroeconomics, where macro is big. So therefore, you'll hopefully remember that micro means small.
And that's what we'll be covering in today's video. The aim of today's video is to introduce the important concepts within microeconomics.
So where macroeconomics was concerned with total national output, that is aggregate demand and aggregate supply, micro is only concerned with the individual goods and services that make up total national output.
Because of scarcity, there are three main choices that have to be made.
Number one,
what goods and services are going to be produced and in what quantities?
Number two,
how things are produced.
And number three,
who consumes the things that actually are going to be produced?
Logically then, we're going to start with number one, which is what is going to be produced and in what quantities. And this problem obviously stems from the overarching problem of scarcity. There's not enough resources in the entire world to meet the demands or wants of every single individual.
This not only refers to goods produced in the economy, such as cars and computers, but also services such as plumbing and electricians, which the UK are always needing, and other services such as PTs and nutritionists. And obviously, this is due to the limited human labour, so, i.e. there's only so many people on planet Earth can do so many jobs.
So the second choice is how things are produced, and this involves what resources will be used and in what quantities.
So take, for example, electricity. Some companies may use electricity that's been powered by natural resources such as coal, natural gas, whereas other companies could actually get their electricity from renewable energy, such as solar, wind, or hydropower.
So we'll use an example with a country such as India. They have an abundance of coal, so it would be economically unviable for them to try and produce, especially in the quantities that they are capable of, using renewable resources which are not set up to do when they've got that natural resource of coal that they can harness.
So we know that not all countries have the same share of natural resources. Again, think about this logically. You can think of the size of a country of such as Ireland, maybe, compared with that of Russia. Russia is obviously going to have a lot more natural gas resources than Ireland would do.
Purely because of the landmass.
Yeah.
Therefore, we know that individuals and companies will have different levels of scarcity to deal with.
So what Andrew means essentially is that if a company, let's say an office company like I don't know, Google,
service-based company,
service-based company like Google, and then compare them to a company like Rolls-Royce, for instance, they have a different level of scarcity in the sense that Rolls-Royce will need more natural resources, not only just to carry out their work in terms of jet engines, but also for the factory facilities require a lot more energy than it would do running an office for Google, for instance. Using a goods example, we'll look at cars. So we were originally building cars. Essentially, a few people would work on a few areas of the car. So it means that it's really labor intensive. So you'd put a door and a wheel on and have, quite a lot. You'd be quite involved in actually making that car.
Yeah, there'd be a group of people just making the one car, and then they'd move on to the next entire car.
Yeah.
So over time, this then obviously progressed to what we know is the assembly line. And this is where one worker specifies in one portion of the car. So they become really efficient at, say, fitting that door, and they just fit the door as it comes along on the assembly line. This obviously has the effect of making the whole process, the whole production process, more efficient.
Nowadays, however, humans are actually becoming obsolete in the production process due to robotics.
So that was a goods example. If you put it in the perspective of a services example, you can think of delivery drivers. Now, currently, most delivery services are fulfilled by humans. You can think of your Amazon drivers or your supermarket delivery people. But I know at least in America, there's currently drones in use that drop shopping off at your door. And there's also, I believe, it might be Domino's, don't quote me on it, that have a driverless delivery truck, so you can get your pizza without a delivery driver. So we're obviously moving that way in the services industry as well.
So finally, who consumes the things that we produce? So in other words, how will a country's income be distributed?
For example, what will the wages of farm workers, footballers, bin men, investment bankers be? After all, this determines how much of that total output that each individual can consume.
These three choices are made in every society. Sometimes this can be a result of people's choices, company choices, or government choices.
And since these choices are concerned not with total national output, but with the individual goods and services that make this up, this is what makes them microeconomic choices.
Thanks for watching our Econelastic videos. Please check out our other YouTube videos on a range of economic topics. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Please also check out our website at econelastic.com. The link will be in the description for you. This is where you'll find our step-by-step dissertation writing guide, which is suitable not just for economics, but for a whole host of degree subjects. And it's where you can also book us personally for 2-to-1 tutoring sessions.
See you in the next video.